Welcome to Pop and Play, the podcast all about play and pop culture and how it shapes our lives. I'm Nathan Holbert, and with me, as always, is Haeny. I'm not a ficus Yoon.
Okay, sorry. Today, we've got another play date, and you'll realize why Nathan just said that punny joke. A new segment of Pop and Play episodes where we invite you to play along with us. Each play date will choose a play experience, let you know in advance what we're up to, and then invite a guest to help us reflect on why this particular form of play matters.
That's right. And for this month's play date, we got into woodworking. We smelled trees, we measured twice, we cut 5, maybe 6 times, and we did all of this with today's guest, Bryan Keller. Bryan Keller, Associate Professor of Practice and Applied Statistics at Teachers College, and might we also add, New York City marathoner and local high school wrestling referee. Welcome, Bryan.
Referee in training.
Well, we're hoping by the time this comes out, you've passed all your tests.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And thanks. Well, happy to be here.
Great. So Bryan is our local woodworking enthusiast / expert.
I'm going to call him an expert.
Okay, despite all the ways that he tells us he's not, we actually went to go witness this, and we realized it is definitely more than a hobby.
More than a hobby.
And so we went to his house a few days ago to see how he got into this hobby and what it feels like to be into woodworking.
So you can, just give yourself a little room, put that, turn it on, and then start using the room. Pull the paddle out.
I'm definitely, I'm not an expert because I have all 5 fingers on both hands.
Oh, you have to lose a finger to be an expert.
At least partial. Yeah.
That's the kind of hobby I do not want then.
There's a limit to my interest in being an expert here.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we had a lot of fun hanging out with you in the furthest reaches of New York.
Yeah, right on the New Jersey border.
Right on the edge.
A stone's throw from New Jersey.
We were in danger of falling into New Jersey the whole time we were there.
It took us 30, maybe 35 minutes to get there. It's hard.
But we're excited to have you here in the studio today to talk about your hobby, to talk about what it means to play with wood and woodworking. Before we get into the good stuff, though, we always like to start with a game. And we're going to do sort of a classic wait, don't tell me type of game. Are you familiar with that podcast or that show, that radio show?
Yeah.
What is it? Tell us.
Well, it's a radio show where they have a bunch of comedians going through the news and they just make jokes, and it's a delight. Peter Sagal hosts it, filmed in Chicago, in fact.
Wait, don't tell me. I have a mug. I know what it is.
Then why did you
Carl
ask?
Castle and now Bill Curtis.
Yeah. Well, I'm stealing this idea from them, and so here it is. You're an expert in woodworking, but how knowledgeable are you about celebrities with names related to wood?
Of course.
So,
I see the connection.
Yep.
Makes perfect sense.
So I'm gonna give you a scenario or a statement, and I'm gonna invite you to try to tell us the name of the celebrity that this is a reference to.
Okay.
Okay.
I see myself crashing and burning on this. But let's give it a go.
If it gets bad, we'll do our best to help. I think this is I think I'm starting with an easy one, but we may find out I'm wrong.
Okay.
All right, here we go. This tough wood has happy feet, is a good son, and can take a skewering from a mountain troll without so much as a scratch.
Oh. I mean, troll, I'm thinking Shrek, but
Okay.
I'm off base here.
I'm not going to lie. I have the answer right in front of me, and I don't
You still
even
think that was
get
hard?
So
Okay.
a penguin. I remember a song related to this, but I'm going to need some.
In one of his movies, there are trees that actually walk and talk really slowly.
Well, that makes me think of Ents from
Yes.
Lord of the Rings.
And this would...
The Hobbit?
Well, looking for an actor's
You
name.
have to tell us about the wood name.
Actor's
Elijah
name.
Wood.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was tough.
This is a peek into Nathan's brain.
So,
Okay, how about this one? Irons are useful clubs for mid and short distance precision. This wood was a master with an iron.
Well, this one's a slam dunk. Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
I should have started with that one. That would have been the easier one, perhaps.
Yeah.
I think.
I think you should do the last
Should
one.
I do the last
Yes.
one? Okay.
The pressure's on.
This is it. This is your chance to really bring it home.
Okay.
You just want me to read the clue.
Yeah, I think it's kind of awesome. And we could end on a high note because he'll get it right.
Oh, now there's even more pressure.
Okay, here's the clue. Our woodiest U.S. president was also the only one with a PhD.
Woodrow Wilson?
See, I told you. Predicted it, nailed it.
I didn't know that about the PhD.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Bryan, for playing along with us on this game. I hope we
that was
didn't
fun.
cause too much stress, but you did excellent.
You did an excellent job. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start us off. So I am going to relate this to what my life has been like the last year or so. Is I have been trying out a bunch of weird little interests or hobbies and things. So sometimes I take a class, sometimes I look at YouTube, sometimes I do all these other things. And some things stick and hit, and some things are like, okay, I tried it, I'm done with it.
You're good.
Yeah. So let's say someone is intrigued by the idea of getting into woodworking. What's a good place to start? Like a low lift that gives them maximum feeling of success.
Yeah, I think it probably depends on like what they're interested in working with wood for. Are they interested in working with it to improve their home or to make a gift for somebody, or to make a bookshelf? So there's lots of different ways that you can get engaged, but I think it probably depends on what your ultimate goal is.
How did you start?
So I started really thinking about it when we bought our house out in Rockland County, and we got there and we had all these trees that had to come down, and they were old, sometimes 80 to 120 years old, oak and black locust and other species, and just seeing them get chopped down and taken off to the chipper. And meanwhile, we have, we were thinking about doing built-in bookshelves in one room and other stuff. So I was like, maybe we could use some of this, and then we'd have not only be able to reuse or use the wood, but also have a story about it. So I had a guy with a sawmill come out to my property. I hired him and was just like blown away, like just turning a huge oak log into basically beautiful lumber.
Yeah.
And so that's how I got started.
Yeah.
And doing that, and then thinking about, wow, I have this resource all around me, not only in my yard, but the neighbors' yards. And so now, I'm that guy who, when I'm out walking my dog, if there's like a tree crew that shows up somewhere, I'm like, hey, what are they?
Right, it's right there.
Yeah, like,
what are you gonna do with that?
Yeah, you guys got
Hey,
plans
guys,
for that?
Can I have some?
Yeah. And it sort of translated into me wanting to use the wood for building materials for projects on my property. But I think that, like, more broadly, let's say you want to get into woodworking because you're interested in making gifts for people or making, boxes or shelving. The first thing that you probably want to do is, depending on where you're at and what kind of space you have, like in the city, I know people in Brooklyn, they have shared spaces where you can kind of join like a cooperative and then show up to the shop on a certain day. You sign up, and there's a table saw and a chop saw and a planer and all this stuff. So if you're in a place like that, then you can maybe get into something like that. Otherwise, you probably want to get some kind of a saw. You need to be able to cut the wood
And keep all your fingers.
Keep all your fingers. And then I think probably the next step after like a table saw would be like a planer, and that's the thing that can take rough cut lumber and really make it pop.
Yeah.
No
so
pun
a planer
intended,
is like
but
a big
it's not
machine,
yeah.
right?
It's not huge. I mean, you can buy cheap ones for $300 that are like, of questionable quality.
That are like tabletop.
Yeah. Like, the Temu versions or whatever. But you can buy like a nice DeWalt planer for probably $700.
Yeah.
And then you can just run boards through it, and they look amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, depending on what you want to do, you need a table saw, you maybe need a planer, and you need some space to work.
Yeah.
You mentioned the planer and how it can make wood look amazing, and I'm pulling out our board,
Yeah.
Haeny. This is our board.
Thank you. Yes, our board.
We made this board from rough cut lumber with Brian's planer at his house, and it
Look how smooth it is.
feels great.
Knock on wood.
The connection between all the episodes.
Yeah.
The fun thing about this is when we got back from this, I was like, came to my wife Hannah. I was like, Hannah, look what I made, and she's like, it's a board. I'm like, yeah, it's so cool, right? And she's like, yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah, this is a piece of black locust, and this is one of the species that, if I can geek out for a second,
Please.
Really motivated me to get interested and sustains my interest in wood and local wood. This is an amazing species because it is super rot resistant.
Yeah.
It's super dense. People use it all over the world for firewood. It's one of the hottest burning woods. It's native to North America. That's, like not like a niche that grows widely in a lot of areas. And it was used for years in boat building and for fence posts, just because you can, and I was telling you about this when you were at my place, but you can take some of this, a piece of firewood and bury it. And then, come back 3 years later, pull it out and knock on it. And it sounds like that. Yeah, it's not punky.
Yeah.
And so I'm using it for siding, for posts, and for decking on a building that I'm building, the sauna of the building that I'm building at my place. So I'm really excited about, to the point of being a little bit obsessed.
Yeah.
Like my family makes fun of me, my friends make fun of me. Like I know where all the black locusts are in my neighborhood.
Yeah. You're just waiting for someone to give it
I'm
to
waiting.
you.
Yeah, I keep an eye on them.
Were you hoping that the quiz that we were going to give you at the game at the beginning was going to be like, where's the black locust on
Yeah, it's
4th
like a
Street?
A squirrel with nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, New York is full of these. And they tend to grow in like the dejected, like inter-highway spaces that they love poor soil. They are real hardy. They're nitrogen fixing, so they improve the nutrition of the soil. And that's one of the reasons, in addition to the wood quality, is that they've been sort of transplanted all over the world. Mm-hmm. Like I went to a conference. I was invited by a colleague in Seoul, at Seoul National University, to go to a conference there. And I went and presented, and he took me out to the woods on Gwanaksun Mountain, which is up high.
Yeah.
And as we were walking out there, it was like, black locust, black locust, black locust. And I was just freaking out. And he's like, what is your problem? And I actually got into a conversation because I was like talking about it.
Yeah.
Somebody walking by who was from SNU was like, oh yeah. And we stopped and had a conversation. She's like telling me about the history of how they brought it over to try and reforest that area after certain conflicts had made war had made the hillside kind of barren and the soil quality poor. And now it's invasive. So like it kind of, and it is considered invasive in some areas in New York. So
Yeah.
Interesting.
it is interesting, and it works well for me because no one cares when you cut them down.
Yeah.
So
Well, I want to ask you a little bit more about that, because this is also something that struck me whenever we talked at your house the other day, that there's so, like, I used to be a chemistry teacher. I was a high school chemistry teacher for many years, and despite the fact that I haven't been involved in the world of chemistry, directly for a long time, I still kind of have a hankering for those types of topics. Yeah. And when you started talking, immediately there was like all this chemistry involved. You even said already about the way it interacts with the soil and the nitrogen and and then you were showing us some of the different pieces of wood in your home and how they get this sort of different coloration and these different kind of patterns based upon the chemistry of the wood as it reacts to beetles that get on it. Like, that to me was like blowing my mind.
Oh yeah, the ambrosia maple, yeah.
And it seems like that is maybe a part of the thing that also got you involved in this too.
Yeah, totally. It's like you just look at the trees and don't think about them. They're kind of a nuisance in your yard. But then when you take them down and open them up, this world opens up and you can kind of use them in all these different and interesting ways. So like one of the things about like locust too is that it's, I don't know how to say this. I think it's allelopathic. So it has some compounds in it that inhibit other plants from germinating around it.
Oh.
But in talking about chemistry, what kind of chemicals is it using to specifically target like soft root growth and seed germination around
Yeah.
it. There's like a cocktail in there. And it's full of these tannins that prevent fungus, mold, and insects from degrading it. So, it was planted up and down Cape Cod and all along the coast from its native areas just because it never degrades. So it was used in boat building. I think that's really interesting, and it's part of what I think gets people passionate about using different kinds of woods. Like maple, you can get spalting, which involves like mushroom or fungus intrusion, but it looks beautiful. And then the properties, like, so locust has these tannins that make it really, really robust, but also things like white oak also, and black walnut. Sassafras to some extent also does. And a lot of people use Western red cedar for outdoor applications. Like that's the thing that you think of. You're like, I'm going to use outdoor. But really, when you're thinking of like decking or outdoor wood, it's kind of like, if you're going to build a deck, what are you going to use? You're going to either use like the plastic stuff, like the tracks,
Right.
or you're going to use treated lumber, which is like pine or Doug fir that's infused with a bunch of chemicals under pressure,
Right.
like toxic stuff. Or you're going to buy ipe or teak, but those aren't really sustainable. And locust is something that is as rot resistant as ipe and teak, but it grows here. It's considered invasive, and it's everywhere. So it's like, I think it's something that for sustainability purposes and for just, taking advantage of a natural resource is really kind of cool. But yeah, the chemical composition is not something I know a ton about, but it is what leads to, I think, what makes me fascinated by the different characteristics of wood.
I just had a revelation / thought.
Nice.
Because I really appreciate the way that you're telling the story, because your interest in it really came from a practical purpose and a reason, right? Like I just moved into this house. I have all these built-ins that I'm going to have to put in. I saw this person come with the saw, and I was really fascinated by all this lumber that was out there. And there was an intersection of this really practical need to do something, and then how that led to you exploring parts of wood that you weren't necessarily, you didn't start with that purpose. You didn't start with the purpose of getting into the science of wood, right? And thinking about nature and thinking about sustainability, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of times when we talk about play and kids, right, we're always like the practical, functional, utilitarian part needs to be disentangled from the play part of it, right?
Right.
Or we think we just need to fulfill the practical purpose and then not let it extend or go even further, right? And I think about that with, like, immediately what comes to mind is like reading, right? We need to teach them the fundamentals and the practical part of it. And that practical part of it is the thing that might interest, or that is the reason why we might all want to read, right? But then there's deeper and more exciting things that could come from that initial inquiry, right? So I don't know. It's given me a lot to think about, like I think that people play for functional utilitarian reasons, but people play also for creativity and expanding.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I think that both of those are part of why I'm engaged in this process. It also gives me a way to connect with my surroundings.
Yeah.
That's important to me.
Yeah.
And it's a good excuse to buy more tools.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Was a little disappointed when Haeny asked how to get started, and you told me that I shouldn't get like a whole mill. I don't know what I'm gonna tell my wife now.
I told you guys I couldn't believe
a mill in my apartment.
Wife let me buy that mill. It was after I had taken on like a new consulting job.
Yeah.
So I got like a nice 1099 check.
Yeah.
And it was like,
and you're like, this is what it's for.
I was like, this is not part of the normal budget.
Put it over here.
Yeah. So the other way that I think about the finances of it is how much would it cost to side the building in cedar? And cedar is so expensive.
Yeah.
Like the good stuff is so expensive. And so if I think about that and like I can get all this locust for free, I mean, it's a lot of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not paying. I mean, in a sense, I am, but it's
Yeah, yeah,
opportunity
yeah.
cost.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Like I'm
Yeah.
saving money. Look
Yeah,
at this.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'd be crazy not to buy
Yeah.
this huge mill.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we'll try to share a picture of it in the show notes. But it's about a Haeny and a half tall, and it's about
That's
three
pretty tall.
3 to 4 Haneys long.
Yeah, it's a
It's
Woodland Mills HM 130, so it cuts logs up to 30-inch diameter, which is plenty for what I need. I mean, if I
How
can
many
get,
Haneys is that?
Yeah,
We only do. That's our metric system here.
An 8-foot log that's 30 inches around is going to be more than 1,000 pounds. So that's a bunch of
Oh
Haneys.
my goodness.
It's a lot of Haneys.
Wow. I like this new metric system.
So another thing we wanted to ask you about, we have been finding, especially on these play dates when we've been engaging with people around activities that they like to play in. One thing that we see as kind of a consistent theme is the role that communities play in how we gain expertise, certainly, but also like how we enjoy these things and how we get into them, how we learn in those spaces. And I'm wondering how community has played a role, or what that community looks like for you as you've gotten involved in woodworking, right? Like, for example, anytime we'd refer to you as an expert, you'd be like, well, I'm not an expert, actually. These other people that are experts.
Yeah.
How are you, other than number of digits on your hands, how do you kind of see yourself in a community? Like, what are the communities that you engage in? Is it just, are there local communities you get involved in? Is it online communities? Like, how's that work with you?
Yeah, so for most of the I guess learning that I'm doing, it's through online. So I'll be watching YouTube videos. I actually use ChatGPT a lot to learn about, just asking it questions along the way, and it's usually pretty good because it's pulling from, there's a lot of stuff online, Reddit forums and woodworking forums, and it just has access to all this information. In terms of like actually interacting with real people, which is probably a more pro-social and better for your life. What I think it's been is less like finding a community of experts around woodworking, and more just been a focal point to bring people together who have a shared interest. Yeah. So, like, for example, a friend of my son's, one of his best friend's fathers, had picked up a piece of walnut from a discarded carpentry shop piece and was interested in making a table out of it, but it was too thick and he needed 2 pieces. And he knows I got the mill. So
nice.
he came over.
Yeah.
He brought a 6-pack. We cut the board in half, had some good conversation. And I feel good because I'm, helping out, and it brings people together. It's a reason to come together.
Yeah.
There's 2 friends I have that are carpenters that we work out together regularly. One is Caleb with the missing index finger, and the other one, Dom, who is an apprentice carpenter. And whenever we're working out, we're talking about, we're sharing pictures of our projects. And, I've been over to his place to help him with stuff. They've come over and Caleb helped me put the mill together. So there's definitely social aspects to it. I wouldn't say that I'm involved in a woodworking community. It's
You're not
more
in
like
Woodworking Club America.
Yeah, and there are those things, right? And it's
The
one of the
membership cards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sort of idiosyncratic in the way that I think I engage with it, because I'm not building boxes or the typical kind of smaller stuff. I'm more interested in it from a building materials point of view.
Yeah.
But it's just for my own residence, so it's not it's not commercial.
Right.
But typically people who are not pros don't get into the building materials side of woodworking.
Yeah.
So that's why I say it's a little I'm a little weird that way.
Yeah.
But it's also another friend. She is an artist that lives near us, and she works with all different media.
Yeah.
And she was really interested in doing prints. So I cut a bunch of cookies. Cookies are when you take the log and just cut a thin slice off the end. It looks kind of like a circle.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's like baking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So you eat it. No.
Yeah, you eat it.
So
It's like the tube of chocolate chip cookies from the grocery
Yeah,
store.
exactly.
Same thing.
Just
Can't
without
wait
the
to
chocolate
try
chips
it.
and with a bunch of wood fiber. But so I cut a bunch of cookies for her.
Yeah.
And then she made a print
Oh, that sounds amazing.
and framed it for me. And
Oh,
guess
that
what species
sounds
she
awesome.
used?
Black locust.
Black locust. So I have on my wall
Yeah.
a black locust print that she made.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
it's like I'm super stoked about it, and I love talking about it.
Yeah.
And like when my brother came up from Maryland, we made a cutting board. So it's just that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
most of the knowledge that I'm getting about it is from online sources, which 10 years ago probably wouldn't have been, but that's where we're at today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that. I feel like I'm going to go back to when I first heard you talk about woodworking and how, obviously it's not like really my jam. I'm more like an inside girl that likes to watch TV on the couch, right? But I think I was just so excited by how excited you were about talking about it, and I think I've heard Lalitha tell me tons of times that it's not necessarily that she's the biggest Swiftie or anything, that she really appreciates how enthusiastic I get about it. And there's something about like seeing someone else's joy and something that you don't really know that much about, but it gets you excited too. And I feel like that's like the thing that I noticed right away the first time I heard you talk about it was you just were so excited about it and passionate about it, and that is very contagious.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I don't really know, like, it's hard to say why that's the case. So I think some of it goes back to, like, my grandfathers. We're both, neither of them had jobs in construction or anything like that. One was an engineer and the other one dabbled in a lot of different fields.
Yeah.
But they both would do this kind of thing too.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a genetic thing where, or just, but I think about them sometimes.
Yeah.
When I'm working on some of these projects.
Yeah. What a beautiful memory.
Yeah. And I think the point about community that you made is also really central to remembering is that community doesn't have to be a formalized membership oriented community. That you create the community yourself and with the other people around you that they get to play around these things. My brother-in-law, shout out to Andy, is really into woodworking, and anytime I'm visiting, I'm like, all right, let's get into your wood shop. Let's make some stuff. And it's just, we have a great time. The kids will come out sometimes too and make with us. It's always it's a great, time to have conversation, to socialize with one another. It's good stuff. And that reminds me of this other question I wanted to ask you. There's this book that's pretty well known in learning sciences circles by Mimi Ito and others called Hanging Out, Messing Around, and Geeking Out. And the premise is it's about young people and young people getting involved in affinity groups, getting involved in hobbies. And she kind of creates these three categories. She says that kids can fall into one of these three. They can be in the hanging out category where they like to go to the place, they like to be around other people that are doing it. They kind of are interested in it, but it's sort of in the peripheries. Whereas messing around, you're starting to kind of get your hands dirty. You're getting involved. You might start making a thing, or if it's some sort of like fan fiction, maybe you read a bunch of it and maybe you sort of try your hand at it, but you still consider yourself kind of a novice. Versus geeking out with somebody who's like kind of obsessed and goes deep in it. Yeah. And I'm wondering, if Mimi was here asking you about you and woodworking, where do you feel like you land on those three categories?
I'm definitely like messing around or more.
Okay.
I would definitely say you're geeking out.
Yeah.
That's what's interesting is because I think if we were to try to characterize you, we might say, oh, he's geeking out, but you would characterize yourself.
So here's the
more
thing.
around.
There's so much involved in woodworking. So it's like in anything, as soon as you scratch the surface, you're like, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
And, this is something that happened to me when I pursued my PhD, right? Whereas like, I know a lot about this one area, but I hope nobody asks me anything that has anything to do with anything else because I'm clueless.
Yeah.
And as you mature as an academic, those areas start to fill in more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's the same case with woodworking. Like I've only been at this a few years, and I'm really psyched about it, and I've kind of taken some big swings, but only in particular areas. So if you're like talking to me about joinery, I'm like, yeah, I know what it is, but I've never made dovetail joints to put cabinets together.
What is joinery? Oh, putting cabinets
like,
together.
Yeah, when you have
joints.
two pieces of wood that you want to come together at a seamless corner.
Fit tight, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you want them to fit tight and be stable.
Yeah.
There's like, all it takes is to open up the Rockler catalog.
Yeah.
And you see like oh, I have this one tool and there's 8 million other tools.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I need them.
I mean, it's overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
So when you say like, yes, I totally feel like I'm way past messing around and I'm totally geeking out, but it's in a very like specific wheelhouse. And so like, and that's why I'm hesitant to say I'm an expert, because there's like woodworkers who've been doing this for their whole, careers, who are way, way more experienced and have expertise across a much broader swath of what's available.
Yeah, maybe related to that, I want to know when you felt like you went in deep.
Yeah.
Because I think the season we've been talking to people about play, but it's almost hard to disentangle because we feel like a lot of our guests, their play has maybe turned a corner where it's not really just like the side hobby that they were interested in doing, that it kind of turned a corner where it's a little bit deeper than that. And so can you recall when you felt like, oh, I'm in this real deep, where that 8 million parts thing, you were ready to dive into that?
Yeah, it's when I spent $9,000 on a sawmill.
I had a feeling that was the answer.
Yeah.
Well, because that's a commitment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like you committed.
I committed, and now it's like I got to put this thing together and use it enough to at least be able to pretend to my wife that I'm justifying that it's paying for itself.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that was the moment.
Yeah.
And there's also a sense in which, the reality of what you're doing, like when you were over, I was telling you how most people who do sawmill businesses or have it for hobbies, they also have a property that has some like bobcats or other hydraulic tools, vehicles on it.
Right, to like pick up
to pick up the logs and move them around, and like those
wow.
are I don't. So I'm using cants to lever logs that are like 1,000 pounds and winch them up onto the mill, and so just the sheer physicality of what it takes. I was like, that's when I felt like, okay, I had the mill, I put it together, I rolled it up to a place where we had a neighbor who had taken down a huge locust tree. And it was like, okay, now it's go time. And just being like, okay, this weekend, this is what I'm doing. I'm in deep. My neighbor came out to help me. We got poison ivy over our whole...
Oh, no.
Here's the thing you don't know, right? We saw these super thick, mature poison ivy vines going around the outside of this thing. And we were like, okay, we can't touch that stuff, right?
So you can't even be near it?
No, you can be near it. But when we we got it up on the mill without touching it. What we didn't think of was the mill, when it cut through, it
sprays
sawdust. And so everywhere I had sawdust on my body, anywhere there was a gap in my clothing, all over my face, my neighbor had to go to the hospital and get a shot of like a steroid.
Oh, God.
It was the worst poison ivy I ever had.
It's a nightmare.
Oh my gosh. So the lesson is don't be Brian's neighbor.
Yeah. Stay far away from that mill.
Then again, I'm helping him cut up his own silver maple log to make something for him. So he.
Hopefully poison ivy free.
Yeah, poison ivy free. But I definitely felt like I got in deep after I got the mill.
Yeah.
And just had to start dealing with the magnitude of moving real heavy logs to make things work.
Yeah.
But I had my sons come out and help me, have neighbors help me, and it's been good. I've actually supplied firewood for like at least 4 different people on the block. Yeah.
For the decade.
Awesome. That's very convenient and helpful.
Do your kids like to, I mean, other than when you make them roll logs for you, do they enjoy doing the woodworking with you?
Not at all.
Not at all?
No.
Yeah, so they're the hanging out, forced hanging out.
Yeah, forced hanging out.
Yeah, forced hanging out.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah.
So is it still a hobby for you? Is it still play?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's still fun. Like right now I'm building a sauna, which I'm super psyched about.
Well, we saw parts of it.
We're very
super
excited
psyched as
about
well.
your sauna as well.
Yeah.
There's a follow-up episode there.
Yeah, right.
We'll be there
We'll have you out.
when it's done.
For sure. That would be fun. But yeah, it's super exciting. Like when I have free time, I'm excited to go out.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where I'll start working and lose time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just because it's the other thing too is it's a nice complement to the kind of academic work that where I'm sitting at a computer for a long time reading, I'm writing, I'm reviewing papers and stuff, and then I go outside and it's like I'm gonna start smelling some sawdust.
Yeah, a literal breath of fresh air.
Yeah. So you cut that cedar and you cut that sassafras, and it's just like now I'm relaxing.
Yeah.
So it is still fun. It's still a hobby, and I'm totally enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you for hanging out with us today to talk with us about this play, this hobby of yours that you're a little bit geeky about. Sorry to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I enjoy the
Admittedly.
joy.
I did as well.
Yeah.
And thanks for letting us come hang out at your house and make this delightful board.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
I had a lot of fun
Working.
having you guys out.
We did too.
Yeah.
Great. Before we have you leave, we always like to ask all of our guests, what's poppin'? So what things are you into right now? Maybe books, TVs, movies, video games, Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, we talked about magic. Yeah.
Whatever
I'm
you
a big
might
magic
be into.
nerd. I'm into movie-wise, Tron Ares.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big Tron fan from
Are you?
Yeah, from like 1980.
Yep.
The original soundtrack by Wendy Carlos, who also did Switched on Bach, but pioneered a lot of electronic music, was a real huge part of my childhood. And the Tron Legacy was the follow-up that came out maybe 10 years ago or so. And the soundtrack was by Daft Punk, which just rocks. I love the soundtrack. But I was disappointed because they didn't have any like nods of the cap to the original music.
Oh, I see.
It was its own thing.
Yeah.
This time, Daft Punk is no more. And so they got 9 Inch Nails to do the soundtrack. And again, it's awesome. It's that like industrial electronic. But now in the movie, there's a couple of scenes where they brought in the old themes from the Wendy Carlos soundtrack. Like the neon just was awesome. Light cycles. And so, yeah,
Love a good light cycle.
yeah. So on movies, I would say Tron Ares, and also music. I've been listening to the 9 Inch Nails soundtrack a lot. For books, I just recently listened to Codename Nemo. It's a book by, I think his name's Charles Lockman. It's about during World War II, the U.S. There was an aircraft carrier captained by Dan Gallery. And he was this kind of rogue captain who decided that he wanted to capture a U-boat. And so he got approval and actually did it.
Wow.
And they captured a U-boat. The Germans were trying to scuttle it, weren't successful. They captured it, towed it, and like took the code books and the Enigma machine off of it. And it was part of, Alan Turing and colleagues were
using that machine.
Yeah,
as like
it was part of the process to decode the German codes during the war. The book was really well written. It's nonfiction, but Codename Nemo was awesome. Yeah.
I feel like listening to your whole personality is geeking out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a statistician. It's like I think it's you have to be a geek to get in the club.
Whole personality.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect. Those sound a lot of fun. I'm going to check those out.
Yeah. All right. So thank you for joining us on this play date.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll be back again in a couple weeks for another pop-off.
Keep on popping.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a thing we don't say.
Yeah, keep on popping.
Bye.
Bye.